Good Sunday morning, ABC10 Meteorologist Brenden Mincheff here. We're going to talk a little bit about the forecast. We're going to talk about the wind that we're going to see today, but more than that, if you're traveling for Thanksgiving, I've got Futurecast for the rest of the country, not just here in California. We'll take a look at the rest of the United States, at least the lower 48. We'll leave it at that. Let's take a look at radar over the last 12 hours, though, because we did see some rain yesterday. We did see some snow as well. It wasn't a lot of snow, just a few inches, about 4 inches above 8,000 feet, and less than an inch, really at and below pass level. That was it. It was a warm storm. The cold air didn't come in very quickly, and that was kind of spelled the end of the snow for, honestly, most of the Sierra. We did get a decent amount of rain, though, especially yesterday morning with some of that heavier stuff that moved on through. Here's a few reports from yesterday. Again, this is just the rainfall on Saturday. It doesn't include what we saw the rest of the week leading up to this. So Vacaville saw over ½ inch of rain. Modesto, about 4/10 of an inch of rain. Downtown Sacramento yesterday saw 3/10, same in Stockton, and almost 3/10 was recorded at Sacramento International Airport on Saturday. Today we are dry, we are clear, a beautiful morning so far, but the wind will be picking up as we go through the rest of this Sunday across Northern California. So highs in the upper 50s, low 60s across the valley, 50s in the foothills, 30s and 40s up high today. But again, the real story is going to be that wind out of the north-northwest, sustained 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts even higher than that. So we'll take a look at Futurecast through the morning hours. Northerly winds beginning to pick up. By the time we get to the afternoon, we'll be seeing gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour this afternoon, and that continues into the evening hours. Now, the focus will shift a little bit more to the west side of the valley as we go into the overnight hours, and you're going to see the strongest winds are actually out near Vacaville and Fairfield, where we're going to see gusts 35 up to potentially 45 miles per hour. But we're still going to keep some decent gusts along the I-5 corridor across the valley. So even by 1 a.m. tonight, you're still seeing gusts close to 30 miles per hour in Sacramento and Elk Grove. Not quite as strong down in Stockton, but pretty close. And then Modesto, 25 miles per hour overnight. This is now 5:30 a.m. on Monday. Again, you can see the strongest winds are on the west side of the valley. Still seeing about 40 mile per hour gusts out in Fairfield. So if you commute to the Bay Area from Sacramento and you take I-80, be prepared for a windy commute tomorrow morning. You're going to have a strong crosswind blowing from the right side to the left if you are, of course, headed westbound. Because that wind out of the north, those gusts are going to be some pretty decent gusts, nothing to scoff at. We'll also see some winds pick up along the crest of the Sierra tomorrow. Once we get in towards lunchtime on Monday, those winds start to subside. And certainly by the afternoon, those north winds really start to die down. So really over the next 24 hours, we're going to be dealing with those north winds. Fire danger because we're so cool, because we had the rain and the snow. We're really not going to have to worry about any fire danger with those north winds. Always good to practice decent fire safety anyway. But the primary thing is just going to be, if you're driving tomorrow morning, make sure it's kind of a 2 hands on the wheel commute for Monday. As we look beyond Monday and towards Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thanksgiving, if you're staying in Northern California, it's going to be a really nice week. 64 for highs Tuesday and Wednesday, 66 on Thursday. We'll have a few clouds Tuesday and Wednesday, but I expect we stay dry. I'm really not seeing any rain or snow in the forecast for Northern California. If you're headed elsewhere, though, let's take a look at the lower 48. This is the same storm, the storm that you see here, same storm that brought us rain and snow Friday, Saturday. Now it's pushing out on Sunday. We're going to see some snow in the Rockies on Sunday, some rain across the Great Plains. And then as that storm scoots to the east, it's really going to hit just about every region on its way out of the United States. So if you're traveling Monday, does look to be rainy from about Houston up to St. Louis, Chicago. So really Great Plains and parts of the southeast. It's going to continue to shift further to the east. So on Tuesday, we have a chance of some snow in the Great Lakes region, rain through the mid-Atlantic, down through different parts of the southeast, and then into the Gulf of Mexico. But we stay dry across much of the western half of the United States. On Tuesday, on Wednesday, that system continues to scoot further to the east. Now we've got a chance to snow up in the northeast for Wednesday, rain down the eastern seaboard all the way from about Boston, New York City, all the way down towards Orlando, Florida. So if you're flying on Wednesday to the East Coast, do be prepared for some showers. If you're flying elsewhere on Wednesday, should be just fine. This, I think, is overdoing. This is that cold front. I kind of mentioned it a little bit over the last few days. This is, I believe, is really overdoing the amount of rain that's going to be associated with this front. It looks pretty dry, honestly, and that's especially true as it moves in to Northern California. Could see a quick quick dusting of snow potentially Thanksgiving evening as the front passes through the northern and central Sierra. But honestly, I wouldn't bank on that. It will just make things a little bit chillier for Friday morning when you wake up in Northern California. But elsewhere in the United States, we're looking at a pretty dry Thanksgiving as things stand. Maybe some rain and snow up in towards Atlantic Canada, parts of maybe Maine, and then also maybe parts of Louisiana and Texas along the Gulf Coast. Snow for parts of Montana, parts of Wyoming, also parts of Colorado, especially for the Denver area late on Thanksgiving. And I know Denver's a big connection city, especially for us here in Sacramento. So just something to keep in mind if you are flying late Thanksgiving or early on Friday. And there you can see that there by Thanksgiving evening, that snow moving in to the Front Range of the Colorado Rockies. So just something to keep in mind. But as you can see here in California, where it's going to be a pretty nice week ahead and easy driving conditions beyond today because of those winds. Temperature wise, I would say just as a general rule, pack a jacket no matter where you're going in the United States, with the exception being Florida, because high temperatures are going to be, I would say, cool to mild across really the vast majority of the U.S. this entire week. This is Monday. There's lots of 40s out there for highs, but if you are headed south on Monday, Orlando, you can see that there, right near 80 degrees, much of the state there in that orange color. South Texas in that orange color and much of the Gulf Coast as well. But things do get cooler as the week goes on. So here's Tuesday, a lot more 40s, and we also see some 50s and 60s now down in Texas and along parts of the Gulf Coast. So certainly if you're in the northern United States, mornings are going to be cold, afternoons are going to be cool. And then in the southern United States, mornings will still be pretty chilly, in fact, especially when you factor in that humidity along the Gulf Coast. So bring that jacket. Highs on Wednesday in the 50s for the vast majority of the United States, notwithstanding, of course, Florida, always right around 80 degrees this time of year, it seems. And then also out here in California, we'll be in the actually mid to upper 60s Wednesday and Thursday for Thanksgiving. So here is Thanksgiving. Again, general rule, just bring a jacket, especially if you're flying somewhere for the holiday week, because you will need it. I promise it will be chilly no matter where you're going. If you're staying here in the state, go ahead and bring that jacket with you in the car, even if you're not flying. Again, the only place that you see any orange on the map really is down in Florida. So not a cold, now I wouldn't say not a cold necessarily travel week, but just chilly in those afternoons. Over the next 10 days here in Northern California, maybe you're staying local for the Thanksgiving holiday. I'll be here through the holiday. It'll be really nice weather. A mix of sun and clouds Tuesday and Wednesday, but we're going to be right near average temperature-wise for most of this week in the low to middle 60s. Thanksgiving holiday actually looks like it might be the warmest day of the next 10, highs in the mid to upper 60s for parts of the valley. And then that cold front that I was talking about, it likely stays dry. I really don't think we're going to see any rain or even snow showers associated with that front that comes in late on Thanksgiving. But it will make things colder starting on Friday. We'll be in the low 60s through the post-Thanksgiving weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Stay safe out there. And of course, remember, if you're watching on YouTube, you can always watch on ABC10 Plus as well. It's a free app, free Apple TV, Roku, or Fire TV. We've got a weather playlist there with in-depth forecasts like this one, weather specials like mega flood and water wasted, and the California drought series that I do as well. Stay safe, stay healthy, everybody, and have a great holiday week.